This is Bishop Dr. Truman Burst. Master Herbalist, coming to you from Good Shepherd Ministries.
And welcome to Discoveries in Health, as I'm just having my power drink and waiting for the room to populate. And I just realized that you could even join this conference with a live audio video over Skype. And we could even add that in as a way that you could join the conference either with just over the Skype audio or with live audio video. So we're also live audio video in Google Hangouts. So there's so many ways to join this broadcast. And then we have these podcasts that I was doing the analytics on the podcasts on mypodcast.com, and we have people listening to these conferences everywhere in the world. I was so surprised. I looked there, and China, Russia, you name it, you name a country, it was there. I was so surprised that people all over the world are so interested in natural remedies. So that was. I'm going to drink some more water here while we wait for people to join us here. That power drink is so rich. It's just got so many different nutrients in it, and seeds. Oh my goodness. Tastes like chocolate, vanilla, cinnamon, blueberries, and cherries. Wow. So that's it. Welcome to Discoveries in Health. This is where we talk about natural remedies. What are the latest research? What's going on? What's the best way to deal with kidney problems? What's the best way to deal with dementia? What are the natural remedies? What does the natural remedy community know right now about a given topic, a health disorder? Well, that's what we research and talk about here, and it is a discussion. It's not a lecture. Please join us by pressing your star key on your telephone 2 times and let us know that you have a question or a topic, something we should talk about, or something you want to hear what's going on with this type of a health disorder or that type of a health disorder. Please understand, we're not prescribing, we're not diagnosing. We're suggesting that you use natural remedies. And there's Jamie has joined us from the UK, and it looks like he's coming in. We're getting more and more folks that are joining us from from various parts of the world, and this broadcast is available worldwide over your telephone. And all you need to do to get that information and click on that link to find out what the code is to join worldwide, like Jamie does over there in the UK. Well, just go to that website, herbalhealth.com. healthreview.com and click on Discoveries in Health. It gives you all the ways to join this broadcast. And after that broadcast, I'm going to add one more, and that is Skype. You can join this broadcast by calling me on Skype, and then I will bring that tab over into the screen just as I have brought the Google Hangouts and the Uber conference in the screen at the same time. We're making a video of this broadcast. So later, if you say, well, what did he say about this? Well, we do have archives, and they go back to the very beginning of utilizing the technology of screen capture and putting together various applications, like including Google Hangouts, so that you can join by audio video, or you can just join by computer, or you can just join by telephone. And you can, and so all of that information is on herbalhealthreview.com, herbalhealthreview.com, and just click on Discoveries, the Discoveries in Health discussions. And there's 143 of these screen capture tutorials, where if I'm talking about how to make lifestyle changes, or how to work with the heart, or the kidneys, or arthritis, or any health disorder, if that is the topic of our discussion that day, you see it. You see me teaching it. You see the room. You see the folks in the room. You see me. Technology is wonderful when it's utilized to help people and educate people, especially about how to be healthy, which is why I have, like Dr. Miles. Dr. Miles will be joining us here, my goodness, in about 10 or 20 minutes. And Doc Miles has a clinic in Georgetown, Texas, and a wonderful man. Developed a lot of technologies to get to the bottom of difficult health disorders. And he charges $100 one time. And then he creates a health and wellness plan. Because he's a naturopathic doctor, and he's not prescribing or diagnosing, he's suggesting, just like I do. And I do the same thing. I create a health and a wellness plan so that you can, and for $100 one time, to sow into this ministry so that we can continue our work and do all these broadcasts and make all these videos that you can look at later. Well, he asks $100 one time to do all his work. Then if you need herbs or you need supplements, yes, then you can you can buy some from him, because he has supplements. I don't sell any supplements. However, I will point to the people who manufacture the natural remedies that I created and get nothing from. What I do is $100 one time, and I create a health plan and a wellness system, and I track it, and I work with you one-on-one until you're over your illness. And that's how this ministry is able to continue, and without it, it's not able to continue. So that's the system. That's what we've evolved to here. I've helped many people that cannot make a donation, and I continue to do that. So if you can't make a donation, know that you're going to get helped anyway. So that's it. That's how we do things here. Uh, now, let's go ahead and open up the health. Let's open up the lines here and find out what people want to talk about. If there's anybody here who has a topic or a suggestion, pressure star key 2 times. Otherwise, we'll find somebody here in a moment who has a topic or a suggestion or a question. And let's see what we got. Oh, no, that's okay. All right. I'm okay. The lines are open. Pressure star key 2 times if you have a question or a comment. And I don't see anybody who has any specific questions or topics that they want to talk about at the moment. So I'll take a drink of water and yeah, a couple of drinks of water. That's pretty good stuff. So, stay rehydrated. It's the simple things that keep you healthy. It's drinking enough water. It's I've been my sister. I call my sister almost every evening, maybe at least 3 or 4 times a week, and I sing to her, and I sing her to sleep. And lately, she's got me on a marathon where I'm singing 2-3 hours at a time because she's got all these different songs that she likes. And so we're just skipping through all these songs 2 or 3 hours later. And so it's beginning to get to my voice a little bit, though. It'll make you a little bit hoarse. But anyway, so I'm drinking a lot of water. One of the things that I found that really helped the throat when you love to sing karaoke and so forth is honey and lemon. But that power drink, wow, whoa. And that's something else. So lemon and honey for to keep that throat going, so you can sing for 2, 3, 4 hours at a time. It's kind of fun. And hi Sacramento, how you doing? Hi Sharon.
Shalom, Dr. Burst. How are you today?
I am blessed. And do you have a question or a comment?
Yeah, I did. I had someone mention something about swollen feet, and I wasn't sure what to tell them. I invited them on the line. They're too busy today. But I said that I would ask about swollen feet, what to do about that.
Swollen feet. Well, that sounds like water retention. And a lot of people have water retention. So that's kidneys. And so that's at the heart of the problem. And it's causing that water retention to go to the feet. So there is a water retention herbal formula. And let me just take a look at what that would be. Let's go over to herbalhealthreview.com, or let's just go straight to a water retention herbal formula. But again, you're going to really want to work on those kidneys. You're going to want to go to the kidney bladder or herbal on herbalhealthreview.com. Go to common conditions and click on kidney bladder. And it's going to tell you how to work with that kidney, those kidneys, and a water retention control herbal formula is number 1448. I'm going over here to Health and Herbs, betterhealthherbs.com. They make that formula, and they're the only one that makes that formula. So I'm over here, and I'm clicking on our store, and I'm going to wait for it to come up. There it is. Now there's a quick find box, a search box, 1448. Enter. Let's look at a formula that works. It's a liquid tincture extract. So it's concentrates of herbs. And that concentrated herbal formula has herbs like hawthorn berries for the heart, bilberry fruit, shave grass, also called horsetail, silica, and that's shave grass. It's high in silica, and juniper berries working on the kidneys, uva ursi working on the kidneys, and chestnut seed, corn silk soothing the kidneys, butcher's broom acting as a diuretic and working on the urinary tract and that water retention. Dandelion leaf, they call that an anti-cancer herb because that's what it was used for historically and traditionally. You can't say that today. But dandelion leaf, loaded with minerals, works great on the blood. Okay, helps the blood. We can say that. Lobelia leaf and marshmallow root. That's a kidney soother. It coats over stones. If there's any stones, marshmallow root coats over the top of them, and so they can be passed easily. The parsley leaf is a diuretic. Pau de arco bark is a blood herb, another blood herb for the blood. So dandelion leaf, pau de arco bark, both blood cleansing herbs. Goldenrod leaf, good against inflammation. Cleaver's leaf, that is another herb that is for the urinary tract. So that's all in one herbal tincture extract combination, and that will help to pull the water off the body. Now, there is an herbal tea that is a water retention herbal tea that is very similar to that formulation, only it's in an herbal tea. So you have a choice of an herbal tea or a liquid tincture extract. The liquid tincture extract, putting in 30 to 40 drops right under the tongue. That goes directly through the cheeks and in the bloodstream. You get 300% more when you're using an herbal tincture extract. So that and another drink of water. See, I've done all these consultations before I got here. I've been talking and talking and talking for hours and hours. Pretty soon your voice starts to tell you, hey, what's going on? All right. So we just keep right on going, though. I'm spirit-filled and spirit-led. There's just nothing that I cannot do. So in that case, now, so we're talking about water retention. So that's what we can do when there's water retention. That's one simple remedy. But again, let's go over there and look at the common condition report, and let's look at the kidneys. And this is the second time today I've spoken about the kidneys. So we're going down. We're on herbalhealthreview.com. If you wanted to follow me on your computer, you would go to the website herbalhealthreview.com, and you'd click on common conditions, and then you'd go scrolling down here on the right hand side because it's faster on the right hand side. So I'm down here on the right. There it is, kidney bladder. And you click on kidney bladder, and you take a drink of water. Great. Yeah, maybe some kombucha mushroom. Oh, yeah. Great probiotic, perfect fermentation for the digestive tract. You want to have perfect digestion? Don't have to have this brand, but kombucha mushroom, yeah. Now back to this kidney bladder report on herbalhealthreview.com under under common conditions. You click on common conditions, then you are on, you look at all these reports, you go down to K for kidney bladder, you click on that, then you're looking at this report, and it describes kidney disorders and what's going on. Then it describes the nutrients that are so valuable to nourish the body to overcome weak and toxic kidneys. You see, the kidneys are trying to get rid of toxins. And when you got that lower backache, that's kidneys. Okay? There's lots of things you can do to get rid of that lower backache before you lose a kidney. Because because you only got two, and so you got to take care of those kidneys or that kidney. Now, the first thing it's talking about is the kidneys want rich nutrient blood to nourish them, and iron from yellow dock. Yellow dock is in a formula called plasmania. Used to call it anemia relief, but they didn't. But our government is hostile to natural remedies, and they want to make it as difficult for you to get it as possible because they're in the business, and it's a business with them for the federal government to fund the depopulation of the planet with pharmaceutical drugs in cahoots with the pharmaceutical industry, and it's one big scam and scheme. And it's just something that goes on in America. So what we're talking about is natural remedies that they don't want you to know about, because that puts that compromises their scheme of using of making sure that everybody gets drugged until and that's their only option, and so that's what's going on, and people like me who shine a light on it. Well, in the last 18 months, 60, count them, natural remedies promoting doctors across America, chiropractors, naturopaths, scientists, 60 of them have disappeared off the face of the earth. Can't find them. They don't exist anymore. This is happening in 18 months. That's what's going on. So just know that if you don't see me anymore and you don't hear about this anymore, don't be surprised. Just a moment while I tell somebody who's knocking at my door. Hello?
Thank you, Dr. Burr, so much. Hello? Oh.
All right. Thank you for your understanding. Someone was actually knocking on the door. I did let them in, and so here we are. We're talking about how to deal with kidney disorders with the right nutrients, with iron-rich and anemia herbal formula, and using other things to help the kidney excrete waste, like pomegranate concentrate, which has antibiotic properties and helps acidify the urine. and celery, whether you're juicing celery, or you're eating lots of celery, or you're liquefying it in the blender. Celery works as a diuretic. See, these are things right out of your kitchen. You can use parsley, as a diuretic and decrease uric acid, and hydrangea, which breaks down any stones in the urinary tract, and which cleanse the urinary tract also. And so when you're breaking down the stones with the herb hydrangea, and it's all in this Plasmania herbal formula, and the uva ursi, you're using that herb because it's a germicidal. It gets rid of the germs in the urinary tract, and it cleanses the urinary tract. And so we have a system where, as an herbalist, where we would get a pound of marshmallow root tea. And as you're looking at this report, and it's talking about any of these herbs, know that you can click on the herb. And when you click on the herb, and that didn't do it, I got out of there and I'm going back. All right, let's just go down a little bit. Now that'll work. So when you click on the herb, marshmallow root powder, then you're looking at it. I'm looking at now a pound or a bag of marshmallow root powder. So if you're looking at it in a report and it's in blue letters, click on anything that's blue, because that means it's a link. It's a link to a report, or it's a link to a product. So the marshmallow root powder, then you go down here and you look at the options. What size do you want? A quarter of a pound, half a pound. Let's see. Let's get a whole pound of it. That's a lot of powder. A lot of marshmallow root tea. How much is it? $36.40. And you're going to use a tablespoon of this marshmallow root powder. And you're going to put that tablespoon of marshmallow root powder into that cup of, into that 1 quart of marshmallow root tea that you brought a quart of water to a boil. And you have put 1 tablespoon of marshmallow root powder in that 1 quart of water. And now you are sipping on that marshmallow root tea throughout the day. If there's any stones, the marshmallow root's going to coat them over so that they will be able to pass out of the body without pain or bleeding. So marshmallow root is really cool. And you're drinking that throughout the day, and you are and you're finishing early in the evening, so that you're not drinking a lot of fluids before bed. And then you're getting this kidney bladder herbal drops. And again, if I click on the kidney bladder herbal drops, I could go over and see it, the directions and dosage, and the price of it. And I get nothing from the sale of any product. Nothing. And I invented that formulation, but I gave it all away. And that's what the government wanted, and I knew it, and I did it before they had me do it, and they were thrown out of court for trying to harass and intimidate me with their schemes. So it's not, yeah. Anyway, 30 to 40 drops of kidney bladder herbal tincture, because it's got peach bark in it. It's got some of that marshmallow root powder. It's a concentrate extract in it. Because all of these tincture extracts are concentrated. Peach bark, marshmallow root, buchu leaf, corn silk, echinacea, goldenrod, parsley, red clover blossoms, dandelion root, watermelon seed, and uva ursi. So it's got these already in it, concentrated drops. about 30 or 40 drops, 3 times a day under the tongue, goes directly into your bloodstream. You get all the nutrients. Now the kidneys are getting real happy because they've got this soothing, nourishing marshmallow root powder going through the urinary tract. They've got all this kidney bladder tincture extract that they're getting and nourishing the urinary tract. And then we're talking about kava kava tincture extract. Because what if a doctor is telling you, well, you got to have a calcium channel blocker because you're making all these stones and so forth. So we're going to, well, number one, use hydrochloric acid, HCl. HCl
That's
hydrochloric to break them down. There's Doc Miles has joined us, folks. Hi, Doc Miles.
Hey, buddy, how are you?
Hey, I am blessed, and I'm describing. Someone asked, about water retention, and we gave them a water retention herbal tincture extract. They can also get it in a tea. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Go ahead. The water retention and what?
Oh, okay. So they had swollen feet. So I said, well, how about a water retention herbal formula to make sure that we're taking the water off the body so that you don't have swollen legs and swollen feet. So that's one of the things that we would do. And then we would make sure that the kidneys are working great with the right nutrients. We talked about the right vitamins and minerals and things. And then we talked about how to make a marshmallow root herbal tea and drink 1 quart of that throughout the day and start taking these kidney bladder herbal drops. And then if they needed a calcium channel blocker, that's where you came in.
Yep. Okay. Well, when the kidneys are not functioning right, people's going to hold water. And I don't have all the herbal tinctures you do. I use a totally herbal capsule that drops the water pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't get rid of that peripheral water, on your legs and your feet, then your heart sits in a sac and it's going to fill up with water and it's going to squeeze down on that heart and you have a more rapid heartbeat.
Yep,
so that's when you got to do something pretty quickly.
Oh yeah, that's right. So a water retention, herbal formula, capsules, liquids. That's where we started, and then we're making sure that we're helping and detoxifying and soothing and nourishing the kidneys and helping them go back to work again. And then if there was such thing as you say that they needed a calcium channel blocker, well then let's use some HCl 500 milligrams with each meal so that it's breaking down the calcium and magnesium so it's not hanging up in the tissues and they're getting it. And then and then if there was still some difficulty with calcium, which I doubt, then kava kava tincture is a calcium channel blocker. It will do that.
Right.
And then Schizandra berry, that's going to strengthen the digestive organs and the immune system, and it's going to also protect against free radical damage and viral and bacterial infections. So Schizandra berry is going to really help to accelerate the process, nourishing everything to really give it a lot more help. Then you've always got the extra herbs that you can add if there's more. If there's inflammation, add extra nettle leaf to get rid of the inflammation. If you need more diuretics, well, get some watermelon seed. It's a great diuretic. I used to have a fellow there decades ago. His clinic was always ordering dozens and dozens of watermelon seed for his patients with kidney problems as a diuretic. Works watermelon seed, and you go to buy a watermelon these days, it's seedless. Wow, that makes no sense. That makes no sense to me, Doc.
I know it. How are you going to plant some seeds to grow more watermelons? You can't do it.
No, that's that's kind of like putting fluoride in your water. It doesn't make any sense. Anyway, goldenrod is another anti-inflammatory. So there's just lots of things that we can do to help those kidneys. And there's even a Stones Clear herbal tincture extract that will help you to break down and get rid of those stones. But that's the system. Right. And then, of course, there's always the Master Cleanse, with the lemon juice and olive oil and all that. That's also listed in this report. So there's just a lot of things we can do to help that urinary tract, but that was how we would deal with it. And the doc brought up a real important point. I would go over to the heart. I go back on common conditions when we're talking about kidney problems and swollen legs. Then I'd be going back to herbalhealthreview.com, clicking on common conditions and going down to the heart report, because let us give that heart, some support. Let's make sure that it doesn't become a target, that it doesn't become a victim. Then you become a victim of this water retention scenario. Let's stop it before it gets there. So we go to the heart report. There is a heart support formula, and you take 30 to 40 drops three times a day. It has motherwort, hawthorn berry, tansy leaf, fenugreek seed, garlic bulb, cayenne root, and hawthorn leaf, as well as the hawthorn berry. It has ginkgo leaf to provide oxygenation, which we're going to get to a little bit more. So that's a wonderful heart support herbal tincture extract to be taken 30 or 40 drops 3 times a day to support the heart. And if you have an arrhythmia or dysrhythmia, then an irregular heartbeat, bugleweed, 30 to 40 drops 3 or 4 times a day will get that arrhythmia back into the right rhythm. Then fish oils, so important to reduce ventricular arrhythmia and atrial arrhythmia. So fish oils must have, and flaxseed oil. So fish oils, flaxseed oil, get them in the diet. Sea buckthorn seed oil and acetyl L-carnitine, the amino acid for the heart muscle, and that CoQ10 for that extra oxygenation of the heart muscle at 200 milligrams every day. Now we've protected the heart, and I'm not worried about the heart. So if you did all of this at the same time, that's like coming in, like Superman and taking care of the problem. But otherwise, a lot of times, what people will do is they will just get one thing, or they'll just get 2 things, and they'll linger with the problem. I've seen that happen. Have you seen that happen, Doc?
Oh, yeah. It happens all the time.
Yeah, I don't understand that part. People say, well, I don't know, I'm on 15 drugs, but I'm kind of worrying about taking maybe 3 or 4 vitamins and minerals at the same time. That worries them, but they're on 15 drugs or 30 drugs, but they're worried about taking 3 or 4 health food remedies at the same time. And it never made any sense to me, and I never articulated it, but it just came spilling forth this moment.
Well, they're ruining their liver when they take all those drugs, and then they don't do anything for the liver because they want to pass on that and do something that they think is more critical. But that's not so. The liver is so vitally important. You got 100 gallons of blood going through that liver in 24 hours. You only have 13 pints. So it's moving. It's moving rapidly through that liver. It's amazing what the liver does. It's just one of the biggest filters we have in the body.
100 gallons. Wow.
Now, I ordered some of your liver stuff from Brittany the other day because I've got a little lady that's got some liver issues pretty high. Her AST and ALT is pretty high, but she can't swallow the liver pills. So I ordered some of your liquid, and I don't know exactly how much to tell her to take unless she takes, 3 droppers full in the morning and maybe 3 droppers full at night. Does that sound right?
Yeah, that sounds good to me. See, the thing about it is, pretty good sized doses of things like liver drops. Taking a really good dose of it. That's going to be great.
Right.
It's like milk thistle seed extract. I take about a half an ounce every morning just to make sure that I'm rebuilding new liver cells.
Yeah, she's 82 years old and she's having a hard time swallowing, and she's in a care facility where she has a lady that works with her all the time. So she's well taken care of, but she has a hard time swallowing, and that's her big problem. And so they have to do a lot of liquid stuff. Some stuff she can take, but other stuff is very, very hard for her to take. So I ordered some stuff for her, like to get her diabetes or her glucose numbers down. I ordered the diabetic herbal tea extract plus the glucose balancer, whatever that other one was, and she'll do both of those plus the liver stuff, and that'll help her. And she can get the berberine down, which will help the A1C. I mean, it does a wonderful job on top of that hemoglobin A1C. I mean, Body Research did a huge, huge double-blind study about 5 years ago, and it's amazing how quickly the hemoglobin A1C came down with just 3 capsules a day. It's pretty amazing.
Absolutely, and with that diabetic report, make sure that you're looking at that and including things like chromium when you're looking at the diabetes report on herbalhealthreview.com, because
I got some 1,000 microgram capsules in.
Perfect.
Which is pretty powerful, and I'll start getting those down her too.
Good idea, because that's really going to help her to uptake that insulin properly and so forth. It's such a needed mineral. But yes, diabetes used to be something that it was difficult to deal with, but then I created this system by making sure that you're getting the chromium and the glucose balance liquid and capsules same time, and then the making sure that they're getting the alpha lipoic acid. Well, they're getting the alpha lipoic acid because it's in the glucose balance system. But when you're doing all of those things, including the diabetes tea extract and the diabetes herbal tea, really lay it into it, then what I'm getting back from people is there's a video there also by Elder Rakah back in 2016, last year. He gave a testimony about his wife having a serious kidney a problem, infection and so forth, and that she used this system and it all cleared up. But then he also commented in that radio and international broadcast, he live over the internet. He also mentioned that he's had many people coming to him that no longer have diabetes, and it's clearing up in anywhere from 2 to 4 months maximum. And some people in 3 to 6 weeks. All their numbers go right back where they're supposed to be, and then they can't find the diabetes anymore. You don't have to continue taking all of these things. Good idea if you kept taking the chromium, though. But you wouldn't have to take the glucose balance, tea, or capsules, and a lot of those things, because you don't have diabetes anymore. And when you don't have anything anymore, you don't have to keep working on it. You need to just nourish your body correctly. And then below that, then there's this testimony, and it's just one of the testimonies, and the testimony goes like this. Says, this is on the internet. It's under the diabetes report. There's that video, and the video is all about diabetes. And this testimonial where it says, "Hi, Dr. Truman. My name is Josh. 6 months ago, my girlfriend told me that you can help me reverse my diabetes. I was skeptical at first, being that I've been a diabetic for over 10 years. My girlfriend pushed and insisted that I contact you, telling me that it won't hurt to give you a call. So I called and I talked to you and explained my situation to you, and you listened to my situation, and you suggested that I take the glucose balance capsules, the chromium, the diabetes herbal tea, and the diabetes herbal tea extract. You told me to continue taking my medications, and you will gradually start to see your sugar go down, and then you should be off of the medications in no more than 4 months. To make a long story short, I beat it with your help. I am no longer a diabetic. I went to see my medical doctor on 4/18/16. When he asked me why I'm here, I informed him that the endocrinologist, the endocrinology doctor, wanted me to take this blood test before I see him on 4/21/16. My medical doctor informed me that I was no longer a diabetic for a few months. So he was over it in 2 months. Okay, and he was no longer a diabetic, and that I no longer have to see my endocrinology doctor. Everybody, the family, co-workers, doctors, assistants, neighbors, and people that just know me in the area that I travel, they're so happy for me, except one person, my endocrinology doctor. When I called him on the phone to cancel and let him know that I'd be coming back, being that I'm no longer a diabetic, and I've never received a call from him so fast. He called back within 5 minutes of my cancellation call to tell me that I was misinformed, that there is no such thing as reversing diabetes, and that I needed to continue taking my medications and come to see him. And like I said in the beginning of my letter to you, my medical doctor said I no longer have diabetes, and I don't need to take the insulins or pills anymore, and to keep up the good work. So it's been about 5 months that I've been diabetes free. So I'd like to say thank you very much for your help. Also, he said that I'd like to thank my girlfriend, Dorian Taylor, for pointing me in the right direction. P.S. I'm now working on high blood pressure, and I'm talking to your granddaughter, and she suggested that I take the blood pressure plus drops, BP plus drops. So once again, thank you for all your help, Josh Kersey. So folks, diabetes doesn't have to be a lifelong death sentence. It doesn't have to go that way. There are many people who don't have diabetes. Have them look at this report on herbalhealthreview.com under common conditions and diabetes, and it lists all that information there, and those videos and that testimony, and all you have to do is try natural remedies. When you try natural remedies, well, you're going to be just like I am, you're going to learn that they work and they help people, and you're going to stay with it. So, Doc, what else is new?